Hello and welcome to another episode of Swim Sets by the Pool. This is the podcast where we give you free swim workouts and tips on how to swim better. My name is Nathan Cohen. I'm a professional triathlete. With me is the one and only Greg Harper. Greg, how are you doing? How does it feel to prove everyone wrong and just cement yourself as the fastest swimmer in triathlon?
Well, not everyone, some people believe in me,
That's
but,
true.
yeah, no, I'm doing well, and yeah, I feel good. I did Oceanside 70.3 the other weekend, and yeah, I
hmm
let out the water. It wasn't the best overall race for me, but got some good coverage on the live stream, and Ironman posted a sweet reel of me looking super fast,
Yeah.
and that's kinda gone viral, so I've got some new followers and things, and that's always good when you're trying to kinda build a brand in the sport. So yeah, it's been good, but yeah, I'm doing well. We got another actually a swim set that is pretty good for the side of a pool randomly. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, we got a good swim set today. But yeah, if you guys want to see some videos of Greg swimming, it's on the Ironman app. I also took some short videos of him swimming. It's on our YouTube channel. We're trying to post some more fun shorts and stuff. We got a short of Greg diving into the pool that everyone loved more than my dive into the pool for some reason by about 600 views. So that's fine. I'll accept it. It's fine.
I've been doing it longer.
That's
So
true.
I
He's
I used to run and dive like this sprint dive into the pool every day for like 10 years, dude.
Yeah, that's
Um
true. And Greg's a lot older than me, so he's got a lot more experience.
and hey, diving and running it really does help. Like, if you're doing a beach start or something like that,
hmm
which happens for age groupers and not just pros, Aussie exits, like
Yeah,
I mean, you can't always do it at the pool you're doing, but it's like diving is important. Don't neglect it.
yeah,
Just don't watch Nate's dive. Just watch
yeah.
mine, obviously.
Hey, in my dive though, you got Lionel Sanders swimming in the lane right next to me in his wetsuit, and I look a little bit better than him swimming, but
Yeah, that's good.
that's okay.
He's
Lionel's
a
a
fan. You were talking about.
dude.
Maybe he's listening.
Honestly, Lionel Sanders listens to the podcast, so shout out to Lionel if you're listening. I gave him a sticker at the pool in Oceanside,
He
and he
put it
put
on
it
his phone,
on his phone case. He's like, "Heck yeah, I'll take a sticker," and he slaps it
and
on his
Lionel
phone
won the race.
case.
So congrats to you. I think his swim probably he wanted a little bit more. I think it was one of the slower swims at Oceanside,
Yeah,
but I mean, when you win the overall race,
doesn't
that's
really
really what
matter.
matters. So
Yeah,
we're all big fans, and we hope he can, yeah, keep going on the year. We
yeah.
love you,
Lionel's a
Lionel.
super nice guy too. I mean, he is
Oh yeah, for sure.
Canadian. I feel like it's just like par for the course when you're
That
Canadian.
is
You
very
have to be
true.
nice.
Canadians are very nice.
But anyways, so yeah, Oceanside was cool vibes. It was super fun. I had a little FOMO watching. Greg Loki called me out. He's like, "Dude, you're just not racing because you're scared." And I'm like, "You're not wrong. You're not wrong." But maybe I'll make my 70.3 debut this year. We'll see. We'll see. But we'll dive into this set. I've actually got a quick tip for you how we start every episode, and it is April right now when this episode is going to come out. And my quick tip is whether you're a swimmer, whether you're a triathlete, sign up for an open water swim race this summer. Look for one relatively near to you or wherever, and just do an open water swim race, any distance. Maybe if you're new, like don't do like a 3 mile one. That would be kind of intense. But like some fun race, 500 to like a mile, you'll have a good time. It's just so cool, especially like if you're a swimmer, it's so much more different because you don't have any walls and you have to sight and do all these new skills. And then if you're a triathlete, it's really fun just swimming and then not having to bike and run after, like in open water. Like you could
Like,
really get a lot out of yourself.
no, totally, and you'll race people who are just swimmers probably too. So it's like you're gonna have great competition,
Mhm.
and get some more experience. And if you feel like you're not translating your pool to open water, or maybe you have some fear there, like oh, open water is a little bit it's scary for me. I get anxiety on the start line. The only way to alleviate those fears is to racing more, and putting yourself in that uncomfortable position. And it's not always it can be difficult, and we all have challenges that we have to overcome like that. But yeah, you might pick up some tips, and you can talk to the swimmers after and like, oh yeah, I saw you out there, but you kind of went off course, and then we broke what like you. People will share information. You can ask questions. Like it might be a great learning experience, and overall be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Just pick a warm water one because those are way more fun.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's what I would do
And
if you can.
yeah, warm water would be nice. Costa Rica. Oof. That'd be cool. Anyways, yeah, but if you're especially if you're signing up for an Ironman and you have like a big Ironman you're working towards or a 70.3, those entries are like hundreds of dollars. Like an open water swim race, like some of them are $20, dude. So
And you
like
just show up.
yeah, you literally just show up, give some like lifeguard like $20 and then they like write a number on your hand and then you go out there. So it's like $20 is a pretty good return on your investment for the confidence you will get from it, especially if you're preparing for a big race. So yeah, that's my quick tip. Anyways, we're gonna dive into the set. This is a pretty good set, like Greg said. I just found this on the side of the pool in Ventura. So like the pool that I swim at is wonderful. I really like it. Olympic champions have swam in the pool. It's like just super great. And yeah, it just starts off with a super solid warm up. I honestly do something pretty similar to this for a lot of my warm ups. 300 swim, 200 pull, 100 kick. What does that get you? 600? And you feel pretty good.
Yeah, pretty standard. I feel like this is like a typical like Masters set. Like I think they literally give. I think it's 400 swim, 300 pull, 200 kick for the
Mm,
Masters. Like
yeah.
that I used to swim on. Yeah, pretty standard. I'm not a big puller in the warm up, but I know people are.
I pull without
Uh,
paddles in my warm up. I just
yeah,
throw
maybe
the
that's
buoy
the
in,
move.
no paddles. Feels good.
Mark Dubrick does that a lot. Actually, he's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's pull, but no paddles.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't really use paddles much at all, actually.
Hmm.
Um, So yeah, like activate the shoulders a bit more when drop the legs, and then and then 100 kick to kind of get the legs moving.
Hmm.
All right, so set one, it's a four time, so it's 1650s. It's four sets of four. It's 50 kick, 50 drill, 50 drill, 50 swim, and it's IM order. So you do four fly, four back, four breast, four free, and yeah, I mean kick, drill, swim, pretty standard stuff. I mean it has 50 drill, 50 drill in there. I would maybe say 25 drill, 25 swim, and maybe
Hmm.
provide some drills for the athletes. Because if I write something for someone and say, "Hey, do a 50 drill butterfly," they'll be like, "I don't know a butterfly drill."
Yeah.
So like one arm or whatever that is. So maybe you could provide a little bit of direction with that drill. But yeah, I mean, I am order. We're always fans. Mixing things up.
Yeah, it's good. And yeah, I mean, a 50 swim IM, you do that 4 times IM order. The cool thing about IM for triathletes, which is what I've been trying to like tell people, is it makes you a more complete swimmer and it just strengthens your overall freestyle stroke if you do these other strokes, which is a good reason to do it. Because a lot of people are like, I'm a triathlete, I swim freestyle, I don't need to do these other strokes. But if you're trying to perform and you're trying to have a strong swim, the strongest swimmers in the world all do all 4 strokes in a practice usually.
Yeah, you're only as strong as your weakest muscle. And, developing these other little muscles and stuff helps balance in the water too. I mean, swimming is about finding that balance and putting yourself and hey, look, you might do some breaststroke and maybe it doesn't really help you get better, and that's fine, but it might for some other people. So you have to try everything. And
Mhm.
that's kind of what we always stress. And you don't have to be a world class backstroker, but if you can't swim backstroke without choking on water or floating, or you don't know how to do it, then you need to get to a competent level.
Mhm.
Um, like Nate says, just to like strengthen your overall, strong muscles, your core, your stabilizers, all these little things that help us float in the water.
Yeah, I like that. And I do like the 25 drill, 25 swim thing. And you can do 2 different drills on those.
hmm
So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like butterfly, you can do like three right, three left, three together. That's
Mhm.
like a pretty common drill.
Yeah.
Backstroke, you could even do the one where you hold your arm in the recovery phase, like straight up to the
Mhm.
ceiling. So it's like, one arm's out over your head, one arm straight up, and that kind of you have to like hold that position for,
Yeah.
three counts.
Or
Breaststroke, maybe.
you could do the Beyonce where you have your arm in the recovery phase and you move your
Oh yeah,
hand, like, if you
yeah,
like it, you
yeah,
should put a
because
ring on it.
thumb out, pinky in. That's
Yeah,
how
yeah.
if you're listening and you don't so much backstroke. When the arm comes out of the water, it's the thumb is leading, but when you get to halfway, you start rotating and then pinky enters so you can
Mhm.
set your catch. But yeah, thumb out, pinky in. So the Beyonce is like that
Yeah,
switching part in the middle of that. That's a good one. Yeah.
yeah.
And then, breaststroke, you do the 3 kicks per pole, something
Mhm.
like that. There's plenty of drills for all these, but there's a couple to get you started.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, you wanna take us through the main set, Greg?
Yeah, so it's 2 times through. It looks like a little bit of a cut down. So it's 300, 150s, and 3 100s. And the 300 is paddles only on a base -5 interval. And the 2 150s are swim on your base interval, which is, like a comfortable aerobic base interval, not like super fast. And it's build to 85%. The 2 150s are built to 85%. And the 3 100s are best average pace on base +20.
Mhm.
So slow interval, that's why it's best average and you're getting a little more rest. So yeah, you kind of just build through the set. And I like how, the interval, like you get a little more rest as you go, as you get faster. I think I've said this. We've done a lot of paddles and taking them off in a lot of sets recently. Like I said, I would not be wearing paddles on the 300
Mhm.
just because I don't like taking off paddles and then going right into swimming. Just I don't ever feel that strong. But
Yeah.
that's just my
I
preference.
honestly don't mind, like, going from paddles to no paddles. So yeah, just try it out. I mean, see what works for you and what gives you the best feel for the water. A good way to test that out is like if you swim with paddles and then you swim regular and you're like significantly slower, then maybe it's messing up with your feel for the water a little bit. So things to consider. But yeah, the 3 100s best average, I really like that. Um, because like 3 100s, it's not that much, but it's also a little bit. So you have to kind of work, you know? And
You
yeah,
can
I
wrap
think,
your head around it,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
You're like, oh,
I think
especially after you do the first one, then it's just two left, but really it's just one because the last one's free.
well,
So
there's no interval, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said, and that's what the 150s are for. You kind of build into it, and then the 3 100s are best average. Yeah, it says base +20.
Hmm.
You could probably go a little slow. If you normally do swimming on 120 or 130, it's like just do it on the 2 minute or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like you could rest double your time essentially. Like if you're
Hmm.
gonna swim a 1 minute, like you can do them on the two. If you swim a 110, you could do 210 or 220, and I think that would be adequate, especially
Hmm.
on the last time through. Because in the end, if you're putting best average down, it's going fast. This isn't like a threshold workout. This is like you want to get the most out of yourself. How fast can you swim? And you can take more rest to accomplish that goal.
Yeah. I think it's cool. And yeah, that's 1800, which is honestly a pretty good distance for a lot of people if you're doing sprint or Olympic tries. Um, that's a nice length for a main set, in my opinion, because I like swimming your main sets a little bit longer than the race distance that you're preparing for, um, because you got to be ready to swim that kind of pace for however long you're going for, and yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about this because we were talking about paddle swimming. If you wanted a drill to use, like, earlier in the workout, if you hold your paddle, like, grip it
Mm,
in your palm and the
yeah.
paddle's kind of on your wrist, it's like a nice drill to like feel that like high elbow catch a little bit. So if that's something you've never done, throw it in there and see how that makes you feel. Because like you're gripping it so the paddle is over your palm and onto your wrist, and it forces your like hand and forearm to be on that same plane
Hmm.
um, as you pull. And that's a good one. I think doing that and then swimming, I think I would feel good. But I don't know about regular paddle
Yeah.
swimming. But
What do you think
yeah, just
about
had that thought.
paddles that have like the bungee over the wrist part? Because someone told me a while, like early on in my swim training, just take off that wrist one and just have it around a
Hmm.
finger. Like, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think I mostly agree with that. Yeah, and I've even taken it off some athletes' paddles before because You if you're pulling out, if you're not finishing your stroke and you're trying to lift your arm too early and you have that strap, you would keep a paddle on. But sometimes if you just have the finger strap on, you might lose the paddle and you'd be like, "Oh, well, I have this weird inefficient part of my stroke." So yeah, it should be easy to keep the paddle on. We'll even do stuff where you have nothing. And like
Yeah.
when you're in the recovery phase, you kind of have to hold the paddle, but when you're swimming, you should be able to keep the paddle on your hand the entire time without anything on it. And that's how you know you have good pressure. Um, and like a strong connected catch. But I would agree with that. Mostly, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So you heard it here first, folks. Yeah, if you have that bungee around the wrist on your paddles, just try taking it off. Just have it around your finger, you know? See
Mm-hmm.
how that feels.
100%. Yep. And I guess that yeah, 300 choice swarm down. Oh, look at that. It says
See you
warm
there,
down. We
warm
love
down
we
crew.
we we love to see it. So yeah, 3,500. I think this is like a solid, like pretty standard workout. I think with a couple drill additions and yeah, it's kind of like a standard aerobic. I mean, it does have 6/100s best average, so
Yeah.
it is tough. And if you're gonna do 600 of best average swimming, don't do much more than that in a workout.
Hmm.
Like it just that's a lot. And be like, oh yeah, we did 2 sets of 10 ones on best average. It's like, well, then you're just really swimming threshold. It's not really best average. So that 500 to 800 yards of like very hard swimming is like a good sweet spot for a workout. And unless you're a professional swimmer, even pro triathletes, like I think they do a little bit too much of that. So,
Hmm.
just keep the total volume in that range, do it, execute it well. And then, if you feel good at the end, that's fine. You did it right. And well, you should feel like sick after, but you
Yeah.
don't want to push too hard.
Hmm. But yeah, this is a cool set. I'm definitely gonna throw this into my training and try it out. Um, and honestly, if you are a swimmer and you're listening to this pod, you could do those hundreds at your best stroke, you know? Like you could
Mm,
do a butterfly, you could do a backstroke, whatever your stroke is. Because you do that little IM warm up. So it doesn't have to just be a freestyle set. Like you could do this with whatever stroke you want.
that's a great thought. And, you do 1 round free, 1 round IM or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Um, that's great. All right, so I'll close this out with the hot take. This one
Yeah.
is for Lionel because we know he's listening. Never take some advice from someone who wears form goggles.
Oh no.
Got him. All right, that's it.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening to this episode, you guys. If you want, you could support us on Patreon. It's just $5. The sets will always be free, but there's some perks if you go over to our Patreon and you can ask us questions. And who knows, we might answer them on the podcast. But yeah, the links to that will be below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to post some more fun shorts on that and some cool swim content for you guys. But yeah, share this episode with your friends, and we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.